City life. All right, all right, all right. Duke City life. My family's here.
I'm Stephen Michael Quesada. I'm with the Duke City Music Hour, and I'm sitting here today with Ryan Montano and Camilo Quiñones. It's weird to have to introduce you, man, because anybody in New Mexico, man, they know you. They see you or they hear you. They know who you are. But so thanks for joining me today. But I think people need to know about you, right? It's bigger than music. I think what makes our life special is our journey, right? So I guess I'll just start off, and you guys can answer these individually, man. But I'll start with Ryan, man. How did you get started? What attracted you to music?
Music was just something in my family that we did. You know, some families are football families, some families are into painting or different kind of arts. My family, we did music. My dad was a guitar player and a country music singer. My brothers, we all did, saxophone, marching band, and it's just something that we do. We would get together and we would work on music, and having my brothers who are older than me being drum majors and first chair, and it provided a lot of nice motivation. And so I think just growing up with it, the love was introduced, and because it's in the blood, I love music. I love writing it. I love playing it. And I believe that that's my purpose. That's what I'm meant to do, is play music.
I think that's something that me and Ryan share in common is, both coming from musical households. My dad, played music, so growing up in my house, we always had rehearsals. There was instruments all the time. There was gigs to go through. I remember coming here to Lesman's as a child all the time. My dad needed a new this or that, or just coming to look around. You know how musicians are. We're always trying to see the new gear. So I grew up with that. My brother's a really famous, highly respected musician who's toured all over the world, and so that was a big part of it. He was always sending CDs and pictures and gadgets that he would find. I remember when he sent my dad a CD player back in the early 90s when CD players were like, the rave.
Yeah. Oh, that's like obsolete now, right?
Yeah. So, that's something that, we definitely share in common, and we're just, I think, continuing the legacy and really trying to, forge forward with it.
Do you pass that down, both of you? You have children?
No kids.
No kids?
Forever single.
I have 2 children. Both of my kids are incredible discerners of talent. Like, they're always like, hey, do you like this song? And almost always I'm like, maybe it's inappropriate, but the song is incredible. You know what I mean? Like, what you're listening to and what you're deciding is good music, like, you have a great ear for that.
So you're hopeful that might be something that they carry on as a tradition. I get it, right? So I come from, I was in band, but I was terrible, bro. That's why I became a comedian, as you know. But it was something that was a part of our family, so it's hard, right? It's hard for that person to kind of break into that and make that a part of your life. But when it's in your family, like, you're right, My dad was a mechanic, but I still don't know how to fix cars. Because my dad was the kind of guy that was like, hey, you're doing it wrong here, just let me do it.
Yeah.
So then I said, what I
Hold that light still, hold it still.
Then you do it, right? And I'm gonna go. So I had to chase my own dreams. Not that it's impossible to get somewhere, right? But I think it's important that if you learn from your family, it becomes deeper than just music.
Yeah.
It's an osmosis.
Yeah.
Because you're just, it's all that you know. It's not a lesson once a week. It's not a this. It's like every day my dad was learning songs, or there was a rehearsal or a show. It was all the time,
So I know that, a lot of people know your music, but I kind of want to touch on, where are you playing now? What do you have out? I want that, because this is more about promoting who you are. We want to know a little bit about you, but what's going on right now?
So Camilo and I created a record together. It's called Love Crash, and we started the song in 2020 during everything that was going on there, and it went to national radio on 2 weeks ago, and it's been getting a great reception. It's gotten picked up on Sirius XM satellite radio, playing all over the country. It's playing on terrestrial radio stations, internet radio stations all across the world. It got picked up on a Spotify editorial playlist. And what I'm most proud of that song is that we created that together from start to finish, from the initial genesis of the inception of the idea all the way to the final master. Camilo and I saw that through, and the fact that it was able to reach a national platform and to have it receive the reception that it has 2 weeks into what we're doing. I'm proud of that, because a lot of people, I feel like they have it in their mind that if I could just get this person to do this for my music, or if I could get this manager or this record label, and that was never really in the psyche of us for how we were going to create this music. It was like, we listen to music all the time, Camilo tours all over the world with Ozomatli and Los Lobos, and my music has been out there. We're very familiar of what the standard in the music industry is, and it's like, we could do that, and so we did. And the fact that it's been able to be received to the degree that it has, two boys from Albuquerque, we're doing it, we're living the dream, and that's something I think we always try to communicate to musicians in our circle and in our community is, no one's going to save you, no one's going to come and do it for you. I always advocate people double down on their talent and what makes them unique and what makes them special, and make that piece of artwork really polished and really industry standard, as I like to say. And we were able to do that, and here we are enjoying the fruits of that. And our goal, and my goal, is just to keep creating industry standard music that's well written, well produced, well mixed, well mastered, and we hope that this trajectory that we're on now will continue.
So what's the dream, right? Camilo, is the dream a big, huge, 30-bedroom house in the hills of Beverly Hills, or really what? Because people look at artists, they think that's what our dream is, right?
30 bedrooms sounds like a lot of cleaning, bro.
See,
honestly.
right away, that's a Latino,
You know what I mean?
right? First thing we think is that sounds like work, bro.
Yeah, that sounds like a long Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Because Saturdays are for cleaning. But for me, the dream is just to leave a legacy with the music that extends beyond the period of my life, that my family can continue to benefit and be proud of, regardless of, it's not always about money or anything like that. I think part of the reason that the song is being received so well is because me and Ryan set out to make a good piece of music. It was never about, this song needs to clear X amount of dollars or this or that. We did set the intention of, creating something that fit within a certain format, because we have other music that we've worked on that does have a little bit more of a creative angle. So it didn't have a place to land on a radio station or, in serious format, because we were being more adventurous with the sounds that we both like. This piece of music was with the intention of, we want to create this music and make it the best piece of music that we can, and hopefully, the format will embrace what it ends up being. And it's, like he said, it's on over 30 stations. It's, getting heard all over the world, and so we're really proud of what it is. And that's not to take away from the music that we've already made, because that's also great music.
Yeah.
It's just not really formatted.
Well, I think we all grow, right? We're all trying to move into a new space, right? When we become as artists. I don't know if other people who aren't artists understand that, but we're always trying to figure out where do we grow from here, because once we've accomplished what we set out to do, and it's not about money, and I wanted to bring that up, and I wanted them to hear you say that, because everybody thinks that what we do is about money, and it doesn't. They can't understand what drives us is art, and creativity and connecting to people. Music is the keeper of so many things. Like I always say this when I speak publicly, that art in general, but music for sure, is the keeper of time, is what I call music the keeper of time. Not only is it time when you're playing music, but a song will shoot you back, man, to high school, or that first girlfriend, or that first heartbreak, or whatever, right? Those songs take you back, and that music of my era, when I'm a little older than you guys, man, but I'll listen to those radio stations, a song will come back and it'll hit me, man.
Yeah.
And then I'll listen to it for like months before I'm like, okay, I got tired of it again.
Yeah.
I got to go find me some more music to listen
You got
to.
to get a new memory
Yeah,
to go back
but
to.
I think that, what you guys, bring to New Mexico is something we should all be proud of. The Duke City Music Hour is based on that, right? Is how do we bring in and showcase not New Mexico music, because that's a weird term, right? When we
Yeah.
say the word New Mexico music, everybody thinks it's just this one type of genre,
Yeah.
right? And so I always say New Mexico musicians, right? So we're highlighting New Mexico musicians, which could be any kind of genre of music, because that's the beauty of music, right? And so me and my wife, we like to go out and hear live music here and there, man. And so we want to know if people are watching us, right now, they're thinking, where do I go see you play?
Right now, we're focused, or at least my focus, and I think Camilo shares a little bit of this focus, is to continue to create recorded music and to go that avenue and keep building up this sort of traction that we've gotten. In terms of live performance, there's a few things in the works, nothing definite right now, but that's not, at least for me, and maybe Camilo feels a little differently, but that's not the focus immediately right now. We already got more songs on which we're working, and that's the focus. And to keep, March is going to be the next single release date that's going to come out, and every 4, 5, 6 months, just one song right after the other. So yeah, that's my focus.
See, for me, that's different than me, right? Because when COVID hit for me, I didn't have somebody I could hook up or comedy doesn't. You don't write comedy in a room, and you don't write it in front of a mirror. My art happens live on a stage, man. I write on stage is where I write, and if it works, then I use it, and if it don't, then I fix it the next night, right? So that's why I want to know about live and the difference between my art and your art, But we do love people love live music, so I just wanted to, Camilo, you don't got no gigs coming up?
For me, I think
I know
that,
he does, because let me tell you something. Let me say this, man. Camilo almost has as many episodes of the after party as I do, and I'm just going to say this, man, right?
Yeah.
And that's what a smart man does, right? If you're going to write and create good music, then you want to surround yourself with the best you could possibly find around you, right? And so everybody knows that's who Camilo is, man.
There's always performances, and I'm always willing to help out, all of the different people in the community that call me. Lately, I've been focusing a lot on DJing. So I have a regular Monday night that I DJ, and my DJ style is very also progressive. I like to just take songs that you've probably heard, take songs that you probably love, and mash them up over either other songs that you've never heard, or cumbia rhythms, or African rhythms, or all these different drum patterns.
Do you create those rhythms yourself and then add them to the music?
Sometimes I'll play like my original beats under the song. Sometimes I'll have percussion elements there, and I'll play live percussion as well. Sometimes Ryan will join me on the trumpet. It just it's all every DJ set that I do is also almost like live music. People are like, wow, this is very creative what you're doing. And every time I watch you, it's different. Even if you play some of the similar songs, they always get blended up in different ways and stuff like that. So
I like that you use the word progressive, because it's something that I think New Mexico in particular, now I'll use the word New Mexico music. Now I'm going to use that word. And it's an opinion of mine, so I don't want anybody watching this show to take this, as offensive. But, I think once everybody fell in love with Our Hurricane, I really felt that New Mexico music never really progressed, in my opinion. I thought everybody wanted to hear that same standard of music, right? So the artists that followed him and the artists that played with him moving forward, when we go see them, they're still playing Flores de las Flores. They're still playing, you know what I mean?
Same way,
and
yeah.
maybe I don't know enough about music. Do you think that's held down New Mexico music, or is it something that's just always going to be and will never break out of that?
I'll give my 2 cents on that. I would feel that I was lucky enough to play with Al Hurricane from 2009 up until his very last concert at Civic Plaza when they named it Al Hurricane Pavilion. And to me, there is something about the way that he plays a New Mexico style ranchera or a cumbia in his band that is very, in my opinion, unique and very specific. And for me, you know, I've been lucky enough when I was in college and then even after college, and for a long time that was my main source of income, was playing in that circle. And so I was fortunate enough to play with every single artist playing trumpet in those circles. And so I understand how there can be some perception of sort of that monotony of style, but I think when you really are in like the man that created that sound, that New Mexico music sound, to me there's something unique and special about it, and I'm honored to play with all of those bands, for sure.
One of the beautiful things about New Mexico is that we uphold the tradition here. You know what I mean? We still eat the same type of foods. We still have the same type of celebrations. We still have the same parades and all this other stuff. And so New Mexico music as a style, it upholding a certain tradition, to me is beautiful. Even though it may seem like it's not necessarily progressing, you have new people coming in and trying to keep the tradition alive and trying to stay true to the sound that it is, and maybe not letting too much things change it or too many different elements, you know, like force it to sound like what's popular now or the ever-changing popular sounds that are taking over. It upholds that tradition, and so I, you know, appreciate that is also happening while there's also a space for people to be progressive and creative, and you know, for other New Mexico musicians, people that, you know, I mean, I played with Al when I was 14, 15 years old. I played with Sparks. I played with every single New Mexico band you can think of out here. I've done.
We did
all
a lot of those
gigs,
shows together.
You know, so you know, that's also part of what we bring to this, like, creative, like, okay, we have this in our bag as part of what we do.
Because you do have who you are inside, even in your music. So when you connect with another band, you bring something to that, is what you're saying. So you feel within the New Mexico music that it's evolving within it, and that what we hear is, we just think we're hearing the standard, but because for sure we know that once New Mexico music starts playing in this state, the dance floor packs up right away, man.
Either that or
we connect to it right away, and it's something that gets us off our feet. I was just trying to kind of say, you know, what would be the progression, right? Because you guys, you know, and probably one of your really good friends, and my really good friend, he was family he's always family, but my brother was married to his sister. Alfred Bourguet just passed, you know, and I know that Alfred, you know, played with everybody, and he was a part of that.
He was a dear friend.
Yeah.
Much
Definitely
respect to
part of the
Alfred.
sound.
Yeah.
Much respect to Alfred.
Alfred, I was in band, so when he was a senior when I was a freshman, and so they were going to haze me for joining the band, and so they decided they were going to jump me, but they didn't realize that I had all brothers and then a meaner sister, and so I could throw, and so I started throwing back. I said, "You're not going to haze me," and then Alfred worked his way to the back of the bus, and he turned and looked at me. He goes, "Not bad, boy," and turned around. And he goes, "Anybody touch my brother again,
Nice.
you're gonna have to go through me." So you know, we have nieces and nephews in common. So I just wanted to give a shout out because I was listening to you and it reminded me of Alfred Bourguet, who comes from a musical family, same type of background. You know, his dad, the Bourguet brothers and the Purple Haze, and I don't know if I'm really dating myself now, but you know, that's where he comes from too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish I would have interviewed him, man, but he lives. You know, this is what I'm telling everybody. He lives within that music.
Oh yeah.
That's how we become immortal, right?
He's part of the sound for sure.
It's like I tell people, the age I am in Breaking Bad, I'm always going to be that age in Breaking Bad.
I love it.
I'll always be that age.
Yeah.
That's how we remain something. I want to listen to your music. I'm excited about hearing the new song. How do I do it?
Spotify, our websites, YouTube, anywhere one consumes digital music.
What's the name of the song?
Love Crash, featuring Phil Denny. It's under my name, Ryan Montano, produced together, the two of us. And yeah, you can check it out anywhere. Anywhere that you consume digital music, if you just type it in, you can find it.
Are we playing it on the Duke City Music Hour? I think we are, right?
Yes.
I would hope so.
And we thank you guys for the support and what you guys are doing for the community
Having us
with,
on.
Yeah.
you know, musicians that are creating original music and you guys making an effort to spotlight and highlight that. I think that's exactly what our music community needs more of, and we're both really appreciative to you guys for doing that. Thank you.
Hey, man, we know how hard it is for our own state to show us love, because that's all we want. We don't want money, man. We just want a little love, a little respect. Give us a shot,
Well,
right?
we want a little bit of money.
You know, just to pay a bill here, more than what Netflix is paying.
Right,
But
exactly.
but what we want is really to be able to, for you to enjoy the work that we put so much into, man. You guys have dedicated your life to your music, and you know, and you've dedicated your life to New Mexico, man, which is, you know, I think that's a big thing. I think everybody expected me to move too, right? They thought, boom, there goes Quesada. He's gonna go to L.A. I'm not an L.A. dude, man. I'm a Burqueño, I guess is the best way to say it.
How come
I'm
you
a
didn't
Chicano.
do the LA thing, especially after Breaking Bad?
Everybody thought I should, right? Everybody said, dude, time to go to LA. Brian Cranston told me, dude, time to go to LA. You know, it's time, man. Now's your time. I don't think my time is hit yet, man. I think I still have a lot to do here in New Mexico. I think I should be able to use my name and what I've built, you know, for me, to use that to promote other people, because I didn't have that. And if I walked away from that, then I leave a state again without somebody advocating for that. And me and Mark Padilla, you know, that's our dream more than anything, is to advocate for other artists, other people, whether you're a comedian or a musician or an actor or an artist, right?
Yeah.
We're connected to all those folks. We want to promote that. We want that to be heard. And we feel that if we do that, then the next generation will do that for each other. And then we start uniting as a state of artists, and we support each other. And I think we could get there.
Well, and that's what I've always felt, is that, again, everybody has the perception that to make it, to get that dream that I want, I need to be here, or I need to have this manager. And it's like, you're an example of someone that's made it on the national and international circuit and gotten a lot of recognition here in Albuquerque. Camilo, same way, you know, Grammy wins, you know, appearing on, touring all over the world.
Grammy,
You know?
SAG Award, things that we would never ever think
You know.
we would be sitting down in our house.
Exactly, and so it's, I always say, what is, like, really ask the deep questions of what is your purpose and what is your talent and what do you bring to the table that's unique, and double down on that. You can be in Timbuktu, you can be in Albuquerque, New Mexico, you can be in South America, wherever it is. You know, the magic of the internet is that if you got the goods, in my opinion, if you have the goods and you really focus on the purpose, I truly feel all that stuff will take care of itself.
I agree. And because of new media, you know, it's a reality, it's a real dream, you know, for us here in New Mexico. Even film and television now, as big as it is now, you know, it's a reality for that young kid to say, hey, I want to be an actor, or I want to be a director, or I want to be a writer, right? It's a reality now, and we can look at that seriously and figure out. So we, as the leaders of that, have to figure a way in. And so we use these, you know, these connections that we make, not only for ourselves, because we have bills to pay too, but for the people behind us who have that same passion, that same dream.
Somebody has to open the door, you know.
Someone does, man.
You gotta, when you open the door and when you get a chance to open it, you gotta hold it open. You know, you can't just let the door close behind you and say, hey, sorry guys, you know. So
Some do.
as we
Yeah,
live,
they do.
you know.
But they're doing it for the wrong reasons, and there's no longevity to that, in my opinion.
I would agree.
You know, so we're trying to just, you know, create more and more notoriety so that other creatives and other people here in Albuquerque can also be noticed through that. What else is going on out there? Who else are these guys working with? Like, who else can we tap into from, you know, now finding this, you know? So I think there's a lot to be said with just the idea of, you know, creatives supporting each other, because in New Mexico, sometimes it can feel like everybody's on their own, you know? So me and Ryan, you know, are like an example of two people that are both chasing dreams individually, coming together and kind of pulling our talents together to try to, create more of a launch board or springboard for other people to even, see what's possible.
What do you consider this music? What's the style of this music? How'd you get there?
I would say that this song is an amalgamation of a lot of different styles. I think there's elements of R&B, soul music, jazz, funk, Latin rhythms. I don't know, would you say any other styles?
I mean, I one of the hardest parts about music for me is that, to box it into any category for me is so difficult. I mean, I grew up listening to salsa and R&B and, New Mexico music and, all the different things in between country and all that stuff. So, all of that comes out when we create music. This particular song, I think that we really tried to make sure that we didn't try to bring too many outside elements to the style of like what would be considered adult contemporary instrumental music, or smooth jazz or, so I think that we were able to kind of like find the different elements, listen to some of the music that's out there already and say, okay, this is like, if we do this other thing, if we want to add this other thing, it takes it away. It takes it out of the, the loop or, so that was one thing that I definitely, because there was other versions of the song that had some other different progressive rhythms and different, there was a point when the song almost turned into a reggaeton for a minute. And we were like, you know what, let's hold on a second, let's undo some of this and go back to what we were originally doing. As cool as it sounded, and sometimes I'll even take the song and when I'm DJing, I'll mix it in over other beats and other songs, and it still works. I mean, the melody and the creation of the song is, we're really proud of it, I think.
So we'll just call it original music, and it doesn't really fit in a box nowhere?
I would call it original instrumental music, and that's sort of the double-edged sword about how, specifically with this song, we created it, because there are avenues that we could have taken that would have given a more palatable direction, something that would have been received maybe on a grander scale, but it felt disingenuous to do so. It didn't feel authentic, and so, for better or worse, we made the decision, well, we like this style, we want to make it with this sort of vibe and this sort of energy, and if it's received, great, and if not, that's okay too, and luckily for us, it was received, and so, excited to see where the rest of, the campaign, the marketing that we've invested into getting it out there, to see where the rest of that goes, and I've always said it takes one song to change your life, and hopefully this song could be getting heard and received and listened to for forever.
For years to come,
For years,
hopefully it'll be one of those.
You gotta put it out though, right? That's the thing. You gotta eventually stop tweaking it.
That's it.
And you gotta believe in it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll tell you a funky song that I heard the other day. I heard it in a long time, and I think I've been listening to it for like a month now. And it's Rockwell. Somebody's watching me.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Great tune.
I mean, is that really a song? I mean, did somebody really do that seriously? I mean, I don't even know, but I freaking love it. I love the beat, and I just love the song. And
Yeah.
I just, maybe it's a part of who my life is right now. That not only am I, am I an actor, but I'm a public official, man. I always feel like somebody's watching me now, So that song became relevant to me. But when you really listen to it, it's like a spoof on music, kind of, know. But yet, it was really well done, and I'm pretty sure he made a pretty penny on that tune, man.
Yeah.
Somebody's definitely always watching you, Steve.
Well, I'm hoping someone's watching over me for sure,
sure.
man. I know I have angels always around me, man. I always feel that, man. So, and I think that's why I spend a lot of my time helping others, helping people.
Love it. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. For sure.
And so, hey, man, thank you so much for coming and
you,
talking
Steve.
to me today. I know we all have jobs too, right? So what people don't understand is that we're always working, man. We work 7 days a week. So I appreciate the time that you gave me, because I know it's precious. So I appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you
guys
for
for all
having
that you guys do. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
House.